Okay, so here class, let's have an example. Persons not liable for, so na-discuss na natin ito. So let's have an example. So S sold his lot to B in a private instrument. B took immediate actual possession of the lot. 2 days later, S sold the same lot in a public instrument to X, who recorded the sale with the registry of deeds. So take note class, the original seller is CS. So and then B. Neither one was aware of the sale made to each other, to the other rather. When X visited the lot to take actual possession of it, he saw that B was occupying the same and learned from B that S had sold to the lot to B earlier. So kung mapapansin nyo class, warranty in case of eviction at saka or in eviction, mostly ang example dito is yung double sales, article 1544. So in a double sales, so here, upon receipt of the summon and complaint, so dito pala tayo. Accordingly, X filed a complaint for eviction against B. So ibig sabihin class, nag-file si X ng kaso. So kinasuhan niya si B para si B umalis doon sa lupa na binili ni X. It's because nga kung i-apply natin yung article 1544 class, si X yung si X is the legal owner. Why? It's because siya yung unang nag-register the sale before the registry of deeds in good faith. So yan yung sa article 1544. Here class, kinasuhan ni X or X filed a complaint for the eviction against B. So ibig sabihin ng eviction, pinapaalis doon sa lupa si B. Kasi nga si B took immediate actual possession of the lot. Kaso nga lang yung title ni B on the lot is in private instrument. So in a double mag-apply dito kung i-apply natin yung article 1544 in case rule on double sales, X has the legal legal owner over the lot. It's because he registered the lot before the registry of deeds in good faith. So upon receipt of the summons and the complaint, B notified S of the suit brought against him. So ito na yung sinasabi class doon sa kanina na dapat i-notify si B ang tumanggap ng summon, right? And saka complaint. Hindi naman pwedeng si X kasuhan niya si S. Ha? So it's because nga class during the sale or during dun sa kontrata ni X at saka ni S, si S pa yung legal owner ng property in the face of registry of deeds kasi nga hindi pina-register ni B yung lupa. It's because it is in private instrument. So X has nothing to do with S. So dito yung sinasabi class na so ito na yung sinasabi class dito sa warranty. So here in the requisites of eviction, the vendor have been notified of the suit for eviction at the instance of the vendee. So instance of the vendee, ang vendee dito class is si B, and then yung vendor have been notified, so dapat i-notify ni B si S about dun sa suit or complaint. So after hearing, the court rendered judgment evicting B from the lot. So here class, ito na yung sinasabi na dapat yung eviction is naka-base doon sa final judgment. So ang korte lamang ang pwedeng magbigay ng hatol. So hindi po pwedeng paalisin kaagad ni X si B over the property kung wala pang hatol ang korte. So dito class, another question, what will be the remedy of B? So anong gagawin ngayon ni B? Kasi nga natalo siya sa kaso, right? So si B, he can hold as liable for breach of warranty against eviction. Si B ngayon ang magfa-file ng case about kay S. So in the grounds of warranty against eviction, because all the elements for liability for breach of warranty against eviction are present. So ibig sabihin class, B can file a complaint against S. It's because yung requisites nga ng warranty against eviction are present. So present lahat yon. So next, number 3, other instances when seller is liable for breach of warranty against eviction. Number 1, sale of property for non-payment of taxes. So here naman class, if the property is sold for non-payment, so sabi ng Article 1551, so if the property is sold for non-payment of tax due and not made known to the vendor before the sale, the vendor is liable for eviction. So example natin, S sold his lot to B, unknown to B, the real property taxes on the property have been in arrears for past 10 years. So as a result, the lot was sold at a public auction to satisfy the taxes due, resulting in the eviction of B. So ang mangyayari nito class, si B can hold as liable for eviction. Why? Hindi binayaran ni S yung real property tax ng lupa, 10 years na. So syempre, isusubasta na yan ng, it can be provincial government or municipal government or the city government. So sila yung magsusubasta ng property. And then, so since sinubasta na or binenta na yung lupa at a public auction, so meron ng ibang nakabili ng property. But B is in the possession ng lupa. So ngayon, so syempre, the legal owner will be the new owner or kung sino yung nanalo doon sa public auction over the property. So ngayon, the third person, pwede siyang mag-file ng case kay B for eviction. So papaalisin niya si B over the property. So here, B can hold as liable for eviction. Naintindihan? So that is one of the instances na merong breach of warranty against eviction. Next is number 4, vendor's liability in case of eviction. So what will be the liability of the vendor? First, if there is a stipulation exempting the vendor from obligation to answer for eviction. So merong stipulation na kalagay sa kontrata. So first, number 1, the vendor acted in bad faith. That is, he had knowledge at the time of sale of the existence of a fact that may give rise to eviction. The waiver is void. So ang mangyayari dito class, like for example, dun sa double sales na transaction, alam pala ni seller na naibenta niya na sa iba. Ngayon, ibenta niya pa sa iba, into another buyer. So, syempre, si vendor acted in bad faith yon. Why? Kadalawang beses mo namang ibenta yung the same property na ibenta mo. If nakalagay doon sa stipulation, doon sa second buyer, na whatever na merong eviction, exempted siya, that stipulation is void. Naintindihan? Yung stipulation na yun, class, na nag-exempt kay vendor from the breach of warranty against eviction, it is a void stipulation. So, the vendor is liable for the following. Number 1, value of the thing at the time of eviction. So, ibabalik ni vendor yung value ng thing at the time of eviction. So, gaya dun sa ating example kanina class. Dito sa, here. So, si B, di ba, pwede niyang i-hold si S liable. So, the liability of S is ibabalik niya yung value ng property kay B. So, let's say for example, nabili ni B originally at 100,000 yung lupa. Ngayon, after so many years, let's say for example, after 10 years, so, syempre, hindi na 100,000 yung value ng lupa. Tumaas na yon. So, from the time na meron ng eviction or from the time na nag-render ang court ng judgment evicting B from the lot, so kung magkano yung price ng lupa during that time of eviction, yun yung ibabalik ni S kay B. Naintindihan? So, ito yung sinasabi dito class sa value of the thing at the time of eviction. Next, income or fruits if he has been ordered to deliver them to the party who won the suit against him. So, income or fruits. So, let's say for example, 10 years na or di ka 2 years. So, within the 2 years, kung ano yung income ng property, so yan yung ibabayaran ni vendor. Next, cause of suit, which cause of the eviction, and in proper case, those of the suit brought against the vendor for the warranty. So, magkano yung ginastos sa kaso. So, syempre, babayaran mo yung attorney. Babayaran mo yung meron pang nakalagay doon, babayaran mo yung korte, filing fee. So, next, expenses of the contract if the vendee has paid them. So, take note class, si vendee dapat yung nagbayad para i-reimburse ni vendor yung expenses ng contract. So, gaya ng pagpanotaryo, so, documentary stamp tax, or any other expenses belonging to the contract. I-reimburse yun ni vendor. And letter E, damages and interest and ornamental expenses if the sale was made in bad faith. So take note class, kapag it was made in bad faith, si vendor, magbabayad siya ng damages. So more or less, exemplary damages ito, nominal damages and plus interest. So next, vendor acted in good faith. So here naman, good faith si vendor. So, ano yung magiging liability ni vendor? If the vendee made the waiver without the knowledge of risk of eviction, so waiver consciente, he shall pay only the value of the thing at the time of eviction. So, here class, si vendor acted in good faith. Pero, si vendee made the waiver. Ibig sabihin, sabihin ni vendee, okay, kung meron mang eviction na mangyayari, walang kasalanan dun si vendor. But take note class, without the knowledge hindi alam ni vendee yung about dun sa eviction. Ibig sabihin, hindi niya alam anong ibig sabihin ng eviction. So, without the knowledge of the risk. So, ang babayaran lamang ni vendor is the value of the thing sold at the time of eviction. Letter B, if the vendee made the waiver with knowledge of the risk of eviction and assume the consequences or waiver intentionada, the vendor shall not be liable. Ibig sabihin class dito, wini-waive ni vendee yung kasalanan ni vendor. Naintindihan? So, alam ni vendee na mai-evict siya over the property, but tinuloy niya pa rin yung kontrata. So, wala nang kasalanan dun si vendor. Dito naman kasi class, sa letter A, yung consequences. Naintindihan? So, that is the liability of the vendor. Another, where no warranty has been agreed upon or there was no stipulation exempting the vendor from liability. Dito naman class, ang sinasabi dito, di ba kanina, unang-una natin instances, merong stipulation na nag-exempt kay vendor over the eviction. Dito naman, paano kung walang stipulation na nangyari? Naintindihan?